was for you writing this seminal work coming from this very personal and space of loss?
Yeah, so I begin most of these by asking a number of questions, really. So like, as I said before, so, okay, the feeling of nostalgia and me thinking, I do a lot of thinking philosophically about the bond between siblings. And then I began to ask, okay, what can turn that bond from love to hatred, you know? How can somebody go from one point to the other? And it was a similar thing with An Orchestra of Minorities. So I was in North Cyprus, and I discovered on getting there that I was one of the very lucky Nigerians, or actually Africans, to come there for school. Because most others that I met there, or even saw later on come, had been deceived to come into that country. So there are these con people who would just tell them, this is like UK, or America. I remember one of the most comically tragic, scenes that I witnessed was my friend and I went to the city center in Okojie in Cyprus, and there was this Nigerian guy who was there asking us for the next train to Manchester. And we didn't know whether to laugh or cry. It was so sad. And he was like, where's the train? Where's the train? And so this guy who inspired An Orchestra of Minorities suffered a similar fate. He came and thought it was like, a better place than it was. But on discovering, he was very depressed. He broke down before my eyes, and one day he drank so heavily and climbed to the attic of the building and fell to his death there. In fact, he wasn't discovered until he began to stink, So it was a very, very sad experience. So, but he had mentioned almost in passing during the few days that I knew him that he was in love with a woman in Nigeria and had engaged her. And, he wanted to get back on his feet, go and hustle and make money so he could come back and be with her. And I just started to think to myself, okay, how do I recreate this journey? What was between them that could have caused this guy to, obviously he didn't know he was going to die there, but, for him to have taken that step. So in some ways, this story was me trying to recreate his journey, to Cyprus and back to Nigeria.
Yeah, which I think you really do wonderful justice to, because it's such a
gripping
story. Yeah. I want to talk about second novel syndrome now, which is something that a lot of writers struggle with. After the relief of releasing that first book, there is this kind of pressure to find your rhythm for the second book. Especially given how well The Fisherman did. I think it's been translated into like 15 different languages, which is amazing. How was it after writing that first book? And we were talking earlier, you said the success was sort of unexpected in a way.
Of course you cannot expect, I'd be crazy if I did.
Very optimistic.
Yeah.
But how was it for you, shifting gears to work on An Orchestra of Minorities?
Well, I don't know. I'm always lucky in that. And I'm a jack of all trades. I'm always working on a number of things at the same time.
It's very Nigerian.
Yeah, well, so, orchestra. So the incident I just described earlier on happened in 2010, I think. So I started writing The Fisherman in 2009. So the idea of orchestra was there while I was working on this one. So what I was looking for many years was really the form. I don't know, I have this thing where I say to myself, okay, I'm going to write this novel in a traditional form, but I end up doing something else, a new way, tries to drag me. So I was searching for that form for a long time. So, I never had a problem with coming up with the story, really. So in that sense, because I already had the vision for it, I wasn't pressured by whatever the fishermen did, really. In fact, in some ways, I was more encouraged. But of course, yeah, there's the anxiety on publication day, you know, how will people receive it? Would they match up to how they did the fishermen? But I guess it's more of like, you know, the book itself is it's an extremely Igbo African novel. It's not Western at all, I guess. So that was more of where the anxiety was coming from.